All right. So I'm super excited about today's call because today I have the opportunity of interviewing a fellow coach who just happened to be also a student and a graduate of local service mastery, Elinor. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It is a pleasure.
Amazing, amazing. So, um, maybe we'll start off with you giving a little bit of background of what you do on your business, your husband's business. What made you join local service mastery? And then we'll just go from there. And
Okay.
by the way, guys, I'm sorry for the noise. I'm right now at the airport. So if you have some background noise, my apologies for it.
Um, okay, so I am a coach. I'm a life coach, but I also own a locksmith company together with my husband. And when I approached you, when I ran into your ads, my thought was around the locksmith company. Mm, we are in Charlotte, North Carolina, and our business until we met you was solely dependent on referrals and offline connections and marketing and sales. Um, and I realized that I am missing a huge chunk of opportunities of people to service and sales to make with the online world. And I knew nothing about it. And it's funny how when the student is ready, the teacher arrives, right? So as I was thinking, what am I going to do? And as I was getting bits of information and very confusing and sometimes contradiction information from different places, then I ran into your ad. And it looked like it could be a good fit because I was looking for something that will have everything in one place. And that's what I thought this program is. Um, and then I found it, and this is what I received. Do you want me to continue to speak, or you want to ask me more guiding questions?
Please. No, no, no. I love it. You're a natural. You're a natural. Okay, so you joined 6 months ago. So you said it when you joined, you didn't know nothing. So for a lot of people, when you're saying that you didn't know anything, it means different things. But where were you when you joined the program in terms of your technical knowledge?
Okay, so Google for me was a place when you find things, not when you share things. So you're trying to be found. I did have a website, and I'm talking about the locksmith company. I did have a website. Um, a long time ago, when Google Guarantee started, we were one of the first, and I want to say only, licensed locksmith in the area. And Google guide us step by step how to open our Google Guarantee account, or Google, there's a different name now, local
Local
services.
service
Yeah.
ads.
So Google guided us and gave us free placements for a while, and it put our business in an insane spot. We were taking phones from the bathrooms. It was so crazy. And so I had that Google local services, but really quickly everybody caught up and it went away. And I thought, oh, it's a thing that just happened. Not thinking, oh, that's the possibility of what happened when you're busy, when you have good presence online. So I had a website and a Google listing account, and this is all I had. I never maintained any of it. I didn't know how to. I thought if you're there, then people find you. And people didn't find me because there's other people there that knew what they were doing and that were way above me. So this is what I mean. I didn't know anything. I had a website and a listing because somebody from Google told me how to do it, but that was it. Um, so
All right. So this was your knowledge. You didn't know anything about website management. Like you didn't do anything, right? Like I think if I'm not mistaken, you had like the girl that used to manage your websites, and she did the whole thing, and you were kind of passive about it, right?
we hired back then a company a long time ago that took what was for me quite a bit of money, and I didn't see anything. And I think this is why I kind of dropped the whole online thing, because I was investing money. It sounded really good, but I didn't really see results. So I'm like, it's not real. So that's when I kind of dropped it. Um, and we haven't done really anything with our online presence until I mean, I again, people told me to do a Facebook page. So I had a Facebook page and I had an Instagram page, but none of it was maintained, definitely not consistently, and definitely without like any knowledge of or strategy behind it. So that's where we were.
Right.
And then I met you, we had our conversation, um, and I started diving into the program. And that's when things started to shift for me and my knowledge and my experience. And please stop me because I can talk forever. And if you want to send guiding question, you
No, I
guide
love
me.
it. No, no, no,
Okay,
no,
okay, I'm gonna
I
continue
love it.
then.
I love it. I
Um,
love it. I love
and
it.
I shared with you before that I my biggest thing that I received from the program was coming from a very clueless place to this online world, very confused, feeling like this is not my thing. I will never know about it. This is too overwhelming. There's too much to know, to walking through a very organized, well thought system, step by step, which I could understand. I could do, I could take the practical steps. When I needed, I had the support for somebody to guide me and answer my questions. So and above all, somebody to show me the opportunity of what is possible, and not feeling like, oh, that possibility is not for me. Like I think about winning the lottery. That's what I felt about Google. It's like it's there, it's not in my hand, it's in somebody else's, and I can't do it. So that's kind of what I felt. But now it's completely different. I feel like, oh, there is things that I can do. There are things that I can do, and I know how to do it. And it's all up to me. It feels like so much better when things are up to me rather than the God of Google or whatever is out there. And this is what the most I receive from the program is really understanding the whole world, understanding how I fit in that world and how I can fit even more and what it can do for me.
I love it. And I remember that recently you posted in our wins channel that like you had two wins. One was that you got 35% conversion rate. And the second win, and that's why you haven't posted it, is because it was basically very simple. It's just following the guidelines. And
Yes.
for those of you who don't know, um, 35% conversion rate, meaning one out of three clicks is turning into a lead. In the service industry, this is like you're hitting the jackpot. If right now you're trying to run ads yourself, your conversion rate is somewhere between 5 to 7% on average. For working with a good marketing agencies, usually that tends to go up to 15, 17, 20%. And our students, our average is 33% conversion rate. And so like I want to hear your take on this.
So it's like a child who was born to very wealthy parents and doesn't realize how privileged he is or she is. So kind of the same. I said, you asked me in one of our group calls, what's my conversion rate? And I said 35, not even thinking about it. And then you paused and said, do you know how big this is? And everybody around were like clapping their hands. It's like, it's a really big deal. And I said, oh, is it? Because, I take it for granted. And I thought just the fact that I'm able to take such high conversion rate for granted is a win on its own, because I've been spoiled with that percentage rate, doing everything right from the beginning. And I'm sure I saved a lot of money by doing that. So.
Amazing, amazing. And before we start this recording, you mentioned that the Google ads like brought you a lot of value, but you feel like the SEO module and the whole organic part is even more uh, impactful on you and your business. So do you want to share a little bit about that?
Yes. And I think it really depends on people's state of mind and how they perceive things. Feel like I'm more of a slower process. It's more up to me kind of person than a risk taker that was willing to go big and go that way. So I love the SEO process that I feel like I'm nurturing. I feel like it's like planting and hunting, right? So hunting is the Google. It's like you get the big thing, you take a big risk, and I'm more like like I want to plant and I want to farm it and I want to see it grow and I love the process. And so I feel like you have both for both kind of people. And for me, the SEO process, the natural growth, the watering, the gardening, and doing that slow pace, slower pace, not so slow, but slower than the ads, and less of a risk. And that's something I enjoyed more, and I got a lot of value out of, and therefore I like it more.
Beautiful. So what's next for you and your businesses? You shared a little bit about that before the recording, but
So
I'd love to know.
to those who are not familiar with the program, there is so much content there, and there is so much you can do. And right now, where I am 6 months into it, is really taking more time and diving deeper into things I've done, and I need to go and do better, things I have not done yet. And I have to have a really big, but not overwhelming to-do list, because again, it's broken down into the small steps, and I get to mark those little check mark as I go and do it. So for me, it's like completing all those, using all that knowledge and improving everything I have existing. And then I don't know what's next. We'll see when I finish that. I'm thinking I now have the confidence to use it for a different location, and I'm actually applying some of the information on my life coaching business. So the expansion there and the multiplication of what I've already done is very exciting, and I look forward to see where that will take me.
Beautiful, beautiful, amazing. And as mentioned before, right now you're not helpless and clueless anymore. So you are now an empowered business owner that can grow and scale your business to as big or small as you want. So it really depends in your, what do you wish for yourself in your business? Do you want to grow it into $300,000-400,000 a year, only on organic marketing, only in one location? Very easy. You can do that. You want to grow it into a seven-figure company, like $1, $2, $3 million business, like few tax, you can do that. You want to grow this even further, like multi-state, like grow it into like a eight-figure, 10 million plus service business a year. You can do that. But right now, and you mentioned this before, and I feel like very proud that you mentioned this. Um, you felt like you told me that it expanded your horizon. So beyond the technical aspects of what this program gives you, on the technical aspects of how to do SEO, how to do Google Ads, how to do Facebook ads, and all that stuff, it also expanded your mind into the possibilities and showing you that you can do whatever it is that you set your mind to. So, yeah, Elinor, I just want to say again on record, thank you again for joining the program. Thank you for being such a beautiful student of ours. Very joyful, very energetic. You're a life coach, so you bring that positive energy into our weekly calls. And for those of you watching this, want to learn more, whether this program fits you. By the way, you mentioned this beautifully before we started the recording on who do you think this program is for?
So I actually was going to lift my finger and say, can I say one more thing? Um,
Yes.
so a few things. First, before I answer your question, I feel like I was kind of lucky that I was clueless, because I didn't come with false or rotten information.
I
I
agree.
came very
I agree.
clean to take whatever you brought to me, or whatever I received from the program. So I feel like in one way, it was a good thing I didn't have much or knew much. That helped me receive everything in a very clean way. And that was a good thing.
I agree.
Now, to answer your question, who do I think this program for? I said to you before, I think it's two kind of people. You were very open and authentic and honest in the first conversation. You almost like were trying to filter who is the right person for this program, and you told me you're going to have to put this amount of time towards the program, or it's not going to work for you. It's going to be a waste of your resources, your money, your time. So to people that cannot invest the time needed, who cannot see the potential that this can bring, I would not join the program. To people who are I'm trying to find a more appropriate word, but are half doers and like to dip their feet in, do a little bit, and then blame other people. Wouldn't do that. If you can take full responsibility on what you do, if you can brainwash yourself to really see the opportunity and go full force into it, I would do it. I would definitely do it. But if you know yourself that you are either tend to start something and not finish, tend to put responsibility on the program, on other people, I wouldn't do it. And if you know that you're already overwhelmed and messy with your time, I would not do it. Otherwise, I would run towards it and play with your mind with where it can take you and go with it.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you again, Elinor. Um, and guys, trust me that I do rigorous vetting before people. I like 80%, like 70 to 80% of people who just contact me. I just screen them out. Like I don't want to waste people's time, my time, and their money without them being like you know, at the end of the program, at the end of the program that you're now becoming an ambassador of local service mastery. So if you're just looking for a get rich quick scheme or anything that is just like, oh, overnight success, this is not for you. This is a real program that gets you real results, but it takes accountability and it takes your effort and setting the right time, attention, and intention into the program in order to succeed. So I appreciate your feedback. And guys, if you feel like this is you and you want to learn more on whether this program is right for you or not, there's going to be a link underneath this video where you can book a discovery call and we can just see for ourselves if it's the right match for both of us. But Elinor, again, thank you so much for this. I wish you the best of luck with both of your businesses and hopefully in the future more service businesses now that you can do anything by yourself. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and have a safe flight wherever you're going.
Thank you.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Thank you.